Hello everybody. We are going to do a video lesson today because I'm probably busy with some other people. So let's get started. So yesterday we reviewed, this is a review of yesterday. We learned that numerical expressions contain only numbers and operations, these right here, and they have no equal sign. We learned another vocabulary word. To evaluate means to find the value of something. In order to evaluate a numerical expression, we have to use a set of rules called the order of operations. The order of operations. An easy way to remember the set of rules is to remember the word PEMDAS. But how do we remember PEMDAS? That's kind of an odd word if it's not even a word. So I found a little picture that will help you. So remember the phrase and this picture. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't she cute? Look at her. So in other words, the please stands for parentheses. Excuse stands for exponents. The M stands for multiplication. The dear is division, the aunt is addition, and Sally is subtraction. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So this is another way of looking at it. We do PEMDAS. The P is parentheses, E is the exponents. And then also remember that when you get to this multiplication and division stage, you're going to work from left to right, whichever of the two operations comes first in that order. And then pretty much the same thing for addition and subtraction. When you get to the addition and subtraction, you move left to right. So now we've reviewed what we did yesterday. Let's talk about today. All right, so we know that the X, or the multiplication symbol, and the dot are used to indicate multiplication. So here's the new bit. You can also use parentheses to indicate multiplication. So for example, 3 parentheses 2 plus 7 end parentheses is the same as 3 times 2 plus 7 in parentheses. Okay? So really, in this case, you just have to imagine that that multiplication symbol is in there. You don't see it, but it is there. So let's put this into practice. So our expression is 9 plus 7, parentheses, 5 minus 2, end parentheses. So the first thing we do, as we follow the PEMDAS rule, we perform the operation in the parentheses. So 5 minus 2 is 3. Our next step is to multiply, because we only have multiplication and addition left. So we have to multiply. So 7 times 3 equals 21. And then we add 9 and 21, and we come up with 30. Does that make sense? Okay, so here's another one. 15 minus 4 times, in parentheses, 6 plus 1, divided by 2 to the second power, or 2 squared. So again, we're going to perform, oh shoot. So again, we're going to perform the operation in the parentheses. 15 minus 4, which went from 6 plus 1 to 7, divided by 2 to the second power. So the 6 plus 1 turned to the 7. Then we're going to evaluate 2 to the second power, 2 squared, which becomes 4. Then we're going to multiply 4 times 7, and we get 28. Then we're going to divide 28 divided by 4, and we get 7. And then we subtract 7 from 15, and we get 8. All right, now we're ready for the next slide. Okay, here is the example from your book. Right now I want you to pause the video and read through this. Read it slowly and carefully. Make sure you understand how they got the information from the chart. Okay, does that make sense? Let's move on. Whoa, that was like blowout. Anyway, all right, so let's try number 7 on page 19. Again, you're going to pause the video, you're going to write the expression in your notebook, and you're going to solve it. So I wrote the expression right here, so you can either write it from this or you can copy it out of your book. So after you solve it, while you've got the video paused, after you solve it, you're going to push play and watch how I solved it and make sure that you solved it the same way I did. Okay, push pause. Okay, so we have 50 plus 6 times 12 divided by 4 in parentheses minus 8 squared, or 8 to the second power. So the first thing you do is you perform the operation in the parentheses. 12 divided by 4 becomes 3. Evaluate 8 squared, or 8 to the second power. So 8 squared becomes 64. Then you're going to multiply the 6 times the 3, and you end up with 18. And then all you have left is addition and subtraction. So you're going to go in order. So 50 plus 18 equals 68. And then you're going to subtract the 64 from that. And you end up with 4. Did you get it right? I hope so. If you want to, you can pause this and go back and see what you did incorrectly. Okay, let's move on. Okay, right now, what I want you to do is try number 8, 9, and 10 on page 19 on your own. If you need help, Mrs. Cowger, or ask Mrs. Cowger or me if I'm not working with someone, and we can help you. When you're done with these, I want you to start on the exercises on page 20. So tonight you must do numbers 1 through 17, or today I should say. If you do not finish these in class, they are homework, because tomorrow we're going to start on the next part of these exercises. So complete 1 to 17 today. All right, that's about it. Get to work.